Hello guys, and welcome back to the Sino-Soviet Union playthrough. In the last episode, I attacked and took over Sweden, and Dema attacked Mexico, which is an invasion that we're currently in process of. We're gonna finish that up today and move along to working on some game mechanics, and a little surprise at the end.
And you're up on their capital, and this is just gonna be a fucking blazing push. And Guadalajara is dead. Their military approval rating is down to 13.3%. Oh, but they have moved their capital all the way up to the U.S. border.
They're like, U.S. protect us, we're moving our capital by you.
I see you've pushed up to the U.S. border on one side. Oh god, what are these old-ass artillery pieces? Yeah, artillery from 43. Damn, New Zealand, you're pulling out all the stops, aren't you? How good are they actually? They're alright. They can do a decent amount of damage. Problem is, these are exclusively like artillery with nothing else to help defend them. 14.4% isn't enough to make their units surrender, interestingly. Oh, but that railroad's sure coming in handy. Being able to push down the railroads without having to fucking stop. And there goes Monterrey. Chinese now. Oh, they were sent world market advisors. It doesn't look like it's really helping them. Hey, you have exactly 5,000 unit kills right now. How many losses has Mexico taken? Over 200,000. Out of all the living free countries, that is the second most after your losses. Nearly 700 unit losses. They've only killed 9. Damn, this straight shot to the capital now is gonna need some supply trucks. Because it's just a straight road with almost nothing to provide supply except this one city of Chihuahua.
Oh no, I hope they surrender.
Why?
Because I see something a little bit more painful than where I'm heading.
Oh, that southwest area that has literally no infrastructure at all. You could take advantage of the seaport. Just sail your way down there if they decide to go there.
I'm actually going to start setting stuff now. Sea transport, lock, go take that.
You made it. You made it there. The supply trucks certainly help.
Hopefully I have more supply trucks heading up there. A good amount.
Come on, these garrisons are pretty much dead, and bam, capital secure. Now, is that all? Are they going to surrender, or are they going to move it again? Watch them put it all the way in that, like, southeastern side. And they put it in the northwest. Tijuana. Oh, and you take Mexicali on the way. They have to surrender soon. They've lost almost everything. The fact that they haven't surrendered yet is kind of impressive. It's not like they actually have much to speak of. Mexicali, one of the only cities that still has any units to speak of, and it's mostly AA. Still fighting over Mexicali. But looks like most of these troops are yours. You already own it. Okay. And Tijuana is dead. Fucking capture everything in the vicinity because they're probably just gonna move again. Let's see where they go. Oh, they actually did it. They went all the way to the east. Then I have to grab some troops from back at the start around Guatemala or something and send them up there. Oh. They surrendered. Now your supply in this area can start to fill up. And I imagine you're probably going to end up adding some more infrastructure and potentially fortifying your border with the U.S. or some key points.
Either way, I want to get that treaty integrity up. Because I'm dangerously low right now.
Quote unquote. I still don't see that as dangerous. But
I mean, you want me to go to war with New Hebrides right now?
Listen, I'm not encouraging you or discouraging you. I'm just saying you have a much different perspective on what a good treaty integrity is at this point in the game than I do. Much different perspective. I don't fully understand your perspective with how much hours of this game I've played and how I've actually seen how it affects the diplomacy. But I know at the same time, no matter how much I explain how it works, you have yet to fully understand it.
Okay, fine, I'll save it and then go for this battle.
I declare thumb war.
You go there, you go there, you go to that port, you go to that,
Oh.
and you go there.
Immediately taking, like, everything without a fight. Your treaty integrity didn't even go as low as I thought it was, but as it would. But as I expected, your world market just went down to indifferent. And you took their capital instantaneously. There's some Danish planes that you uprooted. Support this war declaration.
Oh no, I missed something. I need to grab one more unit.
Yeah, they moved their capital down south. You do have a landing craft there at the new capital. Oh, and New Hebrides is eliminated. That's another dead country.
Did you know Portuguese Timor has a carrier?
What?
Look right around Indonesia.
Portuguese Timor has a carrier?
Yeah, HMAS Melbourne.
Where is this?
Right in Indonesia, south of the Philippines Islands.
Oh yeah, they have a carrier. Alright, that's funny.
I was looking, I was like, what is this flag? And then I started looking at all the actual nations, couldn't find the flag. Turned on colonies, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, so if you put a military fortress with 2 supply depots, it will max out that entire area with resources.
Define area.
Okay, so this wiki says military fortress is a high defense value substitute for military complex. Then it talks about it offers a 40-point entrenchment bonus to units residing in the hex. The MF and the FAB have the greatest defensive values, 2,150 of any military facility. The MF also has the largest supply generating value of all the military structures, 50%, nearly as much as a mega city. Supplement one MF with 2 supply depots, and that hex will generate the maximum amount allowed by the game.
That doesn't mean it's going to fill up the whole area. That's not what that means. That means that tile is going to have the maximum amount of production that it can have, but your infrastructure affects everything else around it.
I was thinking it meant that tile and the surrounding tiles will have like near perfect supply.
Maybe, but do note it said, and it means production, not actual constant supply. When you start shooting, you can wind up shooting more than even that hex produces. Don't think it does more than it does. It does a lot. Also, don't place a barracks there. But it's not like it's perfect. It's not like you're just not gonna run out of supply. Because if that was the case, you would see me doing that a lot. You don't see me doing that ever. In a choke point that I really needed to defend, I would do it. I don't have any choke points I need to defend.
I just more want a defensive military fortress to maximize my defensive capabilities along the roadways. Supply I'm not 100% worried about, but let's say right around Toswana, Mexicali, and Mexicali especially, because of what runs through it. Ciudad Juarez.
Note, you're not going to be able to build military fortresses on those cities, because those are already towns. You'll want to probably I would recommend fortifying the cities themselves, too. I have annexed Lithuania.
I looked, I was like, what the hell? I didn't do anything. And then I saw the country.
Yeah, it's just one of my colonies. I really want their land and their people at this point. My reasons for annexing them have completely changed. I want their land and their people. In terms of colonies, Japan is more valuable as a colony than all the rest of this shit combined. Especially just in every regard. People, sustainability, population, etc., etc.
And also the fact that you get free tech that's worth 10 billion.
Yeah, none of the other colonies really do anything like that for me. Not to mention they can be used to expand my borders right next to me while giving me a pop boost. It's just, why would I not want it, you know? Although I do not want certain things that they already have. Like, don't care about your petrol plants or your small facilities or any bullshit like that. My population growth is getting bigger and bigger every single place that I take. The UK's is getting bigger too. I'm still having a little bit of a population race with them, but I've gotten ahead of them. Invading Sweden was a big thing that helped get me ahead of them.
France is continuing to do absolutely terribly. Their debt has been reduced quite a bit, honestly. But they're still just deep in the red. Like, they can't escape it. They're still just kind of bleeding people a little bit.
That's interesting that they're having so much trouble.
They're getting it. They're starting to level out more and more as time goes by, but they would be a lot larger than they are now. Like, probably more equal with the UK. In fact, they'd probably have shared some of their growth if they had not had this happen to them.
Yeah, if they would have been able to end the war with North Korea, I mean not North Korea, but North Vietnam, I should say, then I feel they would have been better off. But since they're still at war with North
Vietnam, from what I can tell, still has not researched anything better than the airship, by the way.
North Vietnam, what are you doing? So, Rats, you want more people? North Vietnam has 73 million people.
Wow. I'd rather not go around killing my own allies. I have a different idea.
It was a joke. I knew you weren't going to do it.
I'm gonna take one design of each plane category they have unlocked from the 30s, and I'm just gonna fucking sell it to them for 22 mil. Just some ancient ass designs, but better than an airship. They're from before World War II, some of them. A lot of them. All of them, really.
Okay,
take them and use them.
Yeah, the only thing they have is the airship.
Their capital, their ships,
air defense.
They have pre-century destroyers and pre-century cruisers. Let's fix this too. 1938 Kirov class. That's better.
I was trying to figure out what land units they could get. What about militia too?
They're not using outdated stuff like that. Like they have the light infantry you got from 59. Their Recon's Mark I Boy Scouts, but it's a lot better than this start of the century bullshit. I think they're good. They're just not in air and naval. They weren't good, so I'm just gonna fix that.
I'll let you fix that.
Quote unquote fix, because I mean the shit I'm giving them is still just that. It's shit, but it's better than airships and pre-century ships. Soviet Japan researched the Black Hawk. Glad to see they went ahead and did something else military-wise, because they've been slowly increasing their fabrication. They're still focusing heavy on that Civ tech, but I seem to have caught up to them / getting ahead of them, or they're just not running all their research centers.
I honestly don't see anything I can give Chinese Australia.
Does Australia even need stuff? Like,
most of their stuff is, from what I see, is from like the 40s, maybe 50s.
Here, let's give you a Toad anti-tank design. Let's give you... I don't see what recon they even have, so I'm going to give them this old Italian design I started with, just to see. Artillery, do you need any? Give you a design for a heavy field gun from the early 50s. Air defense, do you need any air defense? 60? No, you don't need air defense. A sub from 49 would be better than what you have, so I'll give you that. Capital ships. You only really have the Yamato, so that can be improved. Maybe. The Yamato's a pretty good ship, but it's ancient now.
The Yamato would still be really good today if it didn't get sunk.
Now what I'm wondering is, do I even need to send them a ship? Because I'm realizing the Yamato is just their version of the Savitsky. And the Savitsky still proves to be one of the better ships we make today. Oh, my fucking research for modern supercarriers is finally almost done. And it's finishing in the year that it was first, like, conceived. That's convenient. I'm pumping out Hinds. I have, like, fucking 53 of them already. Nice. I'm still using some pretty old planes, too. Just because a lot of them are, like, high-flying, which gives them a pretty good advantage. My tactical bombers I'm pumping out are from 70. But they're my only high-flying tactical bombers, which means most things are not going to be able to shoot them. So even if they do less damage, they're nearly invincible. Nearly. Some fucking British ships being blown up in the Suez again. That's always nice. So the ZTZ-69-2. Is this the pride of your tanks right now?
That is the best tank I have right now. Or I should say newest.
Solid. I see you took the Matilda Frog design from Australia. Ooh, your anti-tanks look real nice. Oh my god, they move so fast too. Holy shit. And they're amphibious. That's a real nice anti-tank. The Shorelines from Australia, recon and air defense. Are your best air defenses and recon units from Australia? Okay, you have an air defense from 82. Oh my god, a ceasefire between France and North Vietnam. It finally happened.
Yeah, 1981.
Jesus Christ, that was a 42-year-long fucking war. They're still at war, though, because they're at war with Comoros and Tunisia. Now they will no longer be at war with any French colonies that get released, but they are still at war with 2 of them that did get released. France is finally not at war, though, which means we might see a big difference in how France is played. Where the fuck did France get 21.1 billion from?
Did they take out more debt?
No, they didn't take out more debt. They did not.
Did the U.S. just funnel money to them?
So the only way they got that much money would mean someone like sent them the money or something.
It would have had to be the U.S. or Canada.
I think the U.S. may have just sent them money. The U.S. is another 200+ bill in debt right now. They're still stacking. I think the U.S. literally just bailed out France a little bit. France's military deployment should decrease now.
Hold on, Res. Could this have been what's happened the whole playthrough? The U.S. has been taking
No, I've paid good attention to France's money, and this is the first time they've had any significant sum in 30 years.
I'm more talking about other countries in the area, not France specifically.
No, I haven't seen any countries have any sign of that. The U.S. is just funding a ginormous military, 20 research centers, researching in excessively expensive researches at this point. They're running a whole bunch of like resource facilities while buying stuff off the world market. Their people has more than doubled since the start of the game. They have an insane amount of people. That's where their money's going. But I do think that the US just sent France over 20 billion.
And France already burned through 1,800 of it. If not a bit more.
Their military bar is going down. Their army staff is already decreasing. I think we're going to see a fucking France that doesn't run itself into the ground finally. Not that that's a good thing. Alright, I finally got modern supercarriers. Now, in a moment here, I can begin research for the next 300 days, almost, on my modern supercarrier, the Ulyanovsk. What the fuck this is. It's like the Beijing, but a lot better, basically. The price of electricity has been plummeting. Holy hell.
That means everyone's just getting,
Did you finish a fucking research or something? Like, why is the demand suddenly going down so much?
I haven't been building any more
I'm producing
hydros.
3.1 mil right now.
So a lot of the demands just fucking went off the map, I guess.
We're coming to a point where certain areas of trade are becoming less and less profitable.
No. We hit a point where a lot of areas of trade just stopped being profitable. Anything that was profitable after that is still profitable.
I was talking about, like, electricity is slowly dwindling.
It's going down in price, but that doesn't mean it's not being profitable. Because I'm still making a profit from selling it. With my GDP per capita. The US has turned into an importer of consumer goods. I never thought I'd see the day.
It's probably way too expensive for them.
It's their population. It's grown so much that their people are consuming it like crazy. The US has progress in the man on Mars research tree. What the fuck? Where are they in research? Like, they're starting to swerve a little into, like, civil techs. Because I have 6 warfare techs that they can acquire. 5 if you exclude chemical warfare shells. That they just don't have. They never went for missile launch silos. They never went for stealth aircraft designs or laser guidance systems. No improved missile propulsion prototypes. No advanced submarine design. Like, they're missing some things in the warfare tree here. I'm surprised on that little west strip of Mexico you haven't expanded the infrastructure at all.
There we go. Is that what you're talking about, infrastructure-wise?
Basically.
Well, at least on the western part.
Yeah. That's basically what I was expecting you to have done.
I honestly, even now that you have Mexico, I cannot believe that I still have over twice the amount of land that you have. 2.5 times the land you have. This is just so inverse. You should be the one with this much land with how much people you have. United States made an alliance with Trinidad and Tobago. Nice. And I completed my next missile silo. I now have 3 missile silos.
So, any thoughts on what your next plan is?
I'm just gonna absorb some more colonies.
Oh, what happened? Enemy?
Honduras. Oh.
Enemy?
Yeah, Belize. Belize is free.
Honestly, I don't remember where that is.
It's near all your stuff in Central America.
Oh, I could technically take it.
If you want to, get started on the justification now. Because that shit will get allies.
Yeah, I'm doing it. The main reason I said I was going to go for it could be argued, but I don't want it as a free point for the US to stage anything here.
I've annexed Belarus. I also sent, like, a bunch of money to East Germany. Not a bunch. Kind of a bunch. I sent them $1 billion.
The US has what is probably right now the most advanced helicopter in the world. The AV-24 Falcon. It's not even a helicopter. This is a VTOL airplane, I'm pretty sure.
Isn't that hybrid plane they have, / helicopter they have?
I'm pretty sure this is a VTOL airplane. It's years 2006. That has got to be the most advanced fucking quote-unquote helicopter in the game right now.
I want to say it's that, oh, I know exactly what it is, Res.
I mean, I have a good idea what it is, too. It looks like a VTOL airplane.
That's that hybrid plane / helicopter where the, propellers can be either facing forward or they can rotate.
Do you know what a VTOL airplane is? You're just describing it in much longer ways. You're giving me the definition of a VTOL. For the record, because we share line of sight, you will never need reconnaissance satellites, but you could still stand to benefit from having communication satellites.
I almost want to ask about that. I was going to be like, I thought they had no benefit with more than one person sending it up if they're allied and they have line of sight. But I was wondering if
reconnaissance.
We could see more.
Communications gives your troops, specifically your troops, an efficiency bonus. based on the coverage. Every satellite is 10%. So you might want to, if you get the chance, get 10 communication satellites made.
I don't have the tech to launch it, I don't think yet. Nope, I'm still researching satellites. The U.S. is going to have trouble taking my areas.
Let's see, supply depot, gun emplacement, air defense, fortification. Yeah, those are, especially if you pre-place units or garrisons or both.
Oh, I'm doing all that. I'm like putting out all the stops. My big thing is I am going to make the U.S. fight like hell for that border.
I'm looking
Pakistan
around the
was good.
world trying to find out what tiles population can and cannot live on. The only two types of tiles I've found so far without any population at all, for sure, is like water tiles that have more water than a narrow river. So lakes, wide rivers, and ocean. Everything else seems to be able to have population, including rough desert, rough terrain, dense forest, tundra, mountains. Everything else seems to be able to support population, except for wide rivers, ocean tiles, and lakes.
There are other ones, but they're commonly known. There's a terrain type called impassable. If you go and scroll all the way out, go to like the very bottom of the map where it starts showing like where Antarctica's supposed to be.
Ah, Antarctica. Yeah, no shit, nobody lives down there. I don't think that type of tile is anywhere else in the world, though.
Okay, let's say you have two cities a certain distance. Let's say, does the system work like every tile you get over, it reduces the supply farther you go out, but then when you get closer to the other one, it builds back up?
Supply works in an area from the source, yes. It goes further when there is some sort of transportation system in place, like a road or a rail. Those move supply in a direct line or by hex, because you could technically just make a circle of roads and that would connect supply, but still the distance decreases the amount of supply.
Let's say in Mexico, the eastern side, where I have Ciudad Victoria and I have Matehuala. If I build supply depots there, let's say, for example, will that increase the supply like around the middle of those two cities? Is what I'm essentially asking.
Just depends on the reach of it. There's a max amount of supply that every one tile can make, and there is a max distance that it can go at a certain speed, even with the usage of roads. Go ahead and turn on the supply level filter if you haven't already, and you'll see that supply is a constantly changing thing. In between two places supply is produced, the supply is determined by like whatever supply zone it's closer to that has a higher value.
I guess I was more, and I know you haven't played this game in a while, but I was more asking in the sense of, in, let's say, Minecraft, they have torches, and every so many feet, squares or boxes that they use.
It works the same. It's just this has the added mechanic of if you connect a roadway or a railway, supply can be projected even further from that hub. The roads and the rails, by the way, do not generate supply, they move it. USA has some big gaps that are pretty noticeable. It looks like a hole in the ozone layer. Most of my country doesn't even have supply. And you see these little blips, and you zoom in, and that's where places like villages are.
To be fair, mine is in the areas I took over, like Tibet, Kyrgyzstan.
Places that are not loyal to you will always have a supply, like, debuff. You'll find where your population lives and where you have supply tend to be very similar. And just building things in general can be a great way to increase supply. Every industrial complex generates supply. Certain terrains also degrade supply more, by the way. Like, your supply will reach further through, like, plains than it will through a jungle, of course. Also, your infrastructure spending. Even if you get it up to, like, 200%, that's giving you more and more supply. You can actually get bonuses to your supply and the reach of it simply by spending more on infrastructure.
I'm seeing more and more of a certain type of tank.
Oh, what? The Abrams?
Yes. Ugh.
Don't worry. That's only the M1 Abrams. That's not the M1A1 or the M1A2. This is the worst Abrams.
Yes, but it's better than their patents.
Oh, it's much better. The Abrams was the best tank of the Cold War.
I'm dying.
At least you only have to deal with one specific line of tanks.
The M1
I would
Abrams
just
is
say-
Really good at absorbing artillery. It's not as good as absorbing other things as other tanks.
Wait, I can't just send a whole bunch of anti-tanks at it?
For example, the Challenger 1 is actually better at taking a direct tank shot, but worse at taking like an artillery shot.
So, Res, would the Abrams suffer to anti-tank?
A lot more than anything I'm dealing with. Hey, Japan actually has a military bar now. They've been pumping some stuff out.
They might be getting ready to be a military force for you.
A little. I mean, they have 2 land and 1 air, and that's it. Oh, they've developed a unit design, the J-60 Model A anti-tank, so they are developing their own stuff still. And I think this anti-tank is better than what I sent them. I sent them something towed from 55. Japan has a pretty high GDP per capita. They have a higher GDP per capita than I do, technically. Their credit rating's doing fine, even at this debt level, as opposed to India. Ukraine's just destroyed. I'm not even going to try to salvage it. Japan has developed a new tank again. How good is this? The J-61 tank, it's newer than the Raptor. So it's newer, but it seems cheaper and a little less powerful than the TL-2 Raptor. But it's their Year 62 tank, so that shows a good sign that they are researching designs right now.
That's good. The more our allies modernize their warfare tech, the potential that it won't be as bad for us.
Well, this is a colony, not even an ally. Our allies just suck. Damn, everybody and their mother has these FV-101 Scorpions. The United Kingdom either handed out the design or is selling the Scorpions themselves. Ethiopia finished nuclear weapons research. Hell yeah. Oh god, that's a war.
That's a historical war! Oh, good god.